Food is fuel for your body, your mind, and definitely your sport. But let's face it, nutrition is confusing, and the expectations on girls and women to be thin and have a six-pack are exhausting. If you've ever been frustrated with your body, confused about nutrition, obsessed with eating healthy, or guilty when you don't, underate, overate, or overtrained, and overwhelmed with all the pressure, then this podcast is for you. Nutrition can be easy, you can take control of it, but it might start with letting go of control by asking for help and making a change. I'm Lindsay Elizabeth Cortez, sports dietitian and owner of Rise Up Nutrition, where I empower female athletes to overcome nutrition concerns and perform at their highest level, to stop being confused by all the mixed or harmful messages, and finally have confidence in your body as a fierce, fit, and fueled female athlete. Hello, fans and listeners. Lindsay Cortez here, your host of the podcast and sports dietitian. So, who likes Oreos? I have a bit of some Oreo news for you today. What do I mean by that? You know, in an Oreo, you've got the cookie and then the cream filling and then the cookie again. So, what I've got for you is I've got some cookie news, some really good news. Cream filling, typically delicious, but in this case, we're going to have a little bit of unfortunate news, but it's okay because on the other side, we've got some more delicious cookie good news on the other side of it. So that's what Oreo news is. When you kind of squeeze in some unfortunate news and sandwich it in between some really good news on the other side. So, you know, if you are somebody who listens every week, kind of religiously, then you're kind of keeping up with the times of what's going on in my life or what's going on in business personally. If you're somebody who just found this podcast or kind of like pick and choose, cherry pick episodes, then I'll give you a little bit of a background as to what's been going on first and foremost. I've been a sports dietitian for over a decade now, and this has been my passion. I've worked full-time jobs at collegiate universities with military. And then 5 years ago, I established my own business, Rise Up Nutrition, to specialize in helping female athletes and more so helping female athletes overcome disordered eating so that they could fuel to perform. In doing so, I've done tons of one-on-one work. I've run an amazing program called the Female Athlete System of Transformation that has truly transformed people's relationship with food and helped them overcome disordered eating and truly fuel to perform. Helped hundreds of athletes there. Started this podcast. I've done other little programs. I ran a group program at one point in time. I do have an online course that you can take as well. So there's been kind of like a lot of different avenues, and it has just been, you know, really my passion to have this business and help female athletes over the past 5 years. 2 years ago, I had my first son, Gabriel, and 6 months ago, I had my second son, Levi. A lot changes when you become a parent, but I think even more so with the birth of Levi, he has a rare and life-threatening metabolic disorder. And I think the truth is that when he was born, and we were discovering his diagnosis, I think I knew in my heart, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'll be able to work, because I understood his condition. I didn't know what it was before he was born, and I've learned a ton since then. But, you know, I have a medical science and based mind, and I understood. I understood what it meant for him, for me as a parent, and for us as a family. But in my attempts to not make any rash decisions, I had already planned out like a 3-month maternity leave. So I was like, okay, just like see how it goes, you know, just focus on right now, try not to make any big decisions for the future. And then basically 3 months later, I was like, okay, well, I need to like pick up work again. And I tried to get my affairs in order to pick up work. And I basically all fall have been trying to do, you know, be a mother, be a caretaker, be a business owner, be a wife, be a podcast host, be a coach to my clients, be an employer to my employees. And you know what? Nobody can do it all. I don't feel like a failure. I don't feel embarrassed or ashamed. I have simply come to the obvious realization that nobody can do it all, not even me. And where my heart is being called strongly is to be a very present mother to my boys and to take care of Levi the best that I possibly can. In the last 6 months, we have spent over 30 days and nights in the hospital. I have spent countless hours at doctor's visits, and I overcome the daily emergency that a life-threatening disorder does. I have been on calls with clients where I'm administering tube feedings. I have helped my son overcome, low blood sugar of, 30s or 40s, and then made sure he was okay, taking care of him, and then jumped on a call trying to be as professional as I can and guide other people to their success. And frankly, I'm proud of myself. I've done it. It's great. But you want to know what I haven't done a great job at? I haven't done a great job at taking care of me, of finding ways to decompress, of finding ways to take care of my emotional load that I've been carrying. And that is something that needs to be done for me to be a present mother and a caretaker and just a happy person. I need to say no to something. I need to let go of something. And so the good news is that I've come to this amazing decision to take care of myself and my boys as best I possibly can. This is the cookie part. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to take care of them with a little less stress in my life and to take care of myself better so that I can be the best mother and caretaker for both boys. And so what that means, kind of the bad news of this Oreo sandwich here, is it does mean that I do have to cut down on work. The part of work that I'm cutting down on is the one-on-one client work and the fast track program. So if you have listened to this podcast for the past few years, or you jump back to old episodes, you might hear ads that I can help you overcome disordered eating and to join the Female Athlete System of Transformation. And I have made the decision to stop running that program and to stop working one-on-one with clients. It is too hard for me to help other people when I'm focusing on helping my children and myself at this time in my life. So that's the bad news. But I do have some more good news. The other side of the Oreo is another delicious cookie. So the delicious news to add to this is that it is my intention to continue the podcast. And I do have clients who are in my alumni program. Basically, they did the fast track and then they're just like still clients of mine in a little more hands-off way. We are continuing to run the alumni program, so I'm super excited about that. And even if you've never been a client of mine and you just want to learn about this alumni program, please shoot me an email because I might be morphing things in the future. But right now, I'm still going to support all of my alumni clients, and we're going to continue this podcast. That's the good news for you. I really enjoy doing the podcast. I love talking. I love speaking. I love interviewing people. I love learning. I love engaging. So we're going to continue the podcast. If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not positive if I'll be able to blast out 4 new episodes a month like we've been doing. But I'm going to keep trying my absolute best. We might have some rerun episodes. We might only do 3 episodes a month. I'm not quite sure. But you know what you can do is you can just be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Please subscribe. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Subscribe so that you're notified when there's a new episode. We've been doing a new episode every single Thursday. But like I said, just go ahead and subscribe because in the future, I don't know, there might be a week that's missed or something like that. But if you subscribe, you'll get notified when there's a new episode. The next thing I want you to do is subscribe to my email list. I'm going to include a link to that in the show notes. And that's because although business is changing, morphing, I am cutting down, no longer taking one-on-one clients. What I'm excited about is the way that business can morph and grow. If I'm not spending my time doing one-on-one clients, there might be other things that I can do. I'm going to let you in on a few secrets. I might be creating some more online resources for you because I have 5 years worth of materials, presentations, modules, handouts, topics, just like so much that I have done for the community of female athletes that I just honestly am going to package it and make it available to you online. So that's something coming in the future. And another thing that, I would love to do, I've had so many book ideas. I totally want to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. I've got like 6 different ideas for 6 different books. And so if you're on my email list, you can be notified in the ways that business is changing and ways that, although no longer taking one-on-one clients, ways that I might be able to help you fuel your body better as a female athlete in the future. So that is my request of you, a New Year's gift. If you are a fan and a listener, if you want to give a New Year's gift to me, it would be to continue being a listener of the podcast. It would be to subscribe to our email list and stay tuned for, future ways that I can help you. We do have a Patreon membership going as well. And, frankly, the membership is slow rolling. We have very few people in there. But this is another ask. I'm not ashamed to say that with business dying down, this is a personal hit to my income. And that is scary, but it's a decision that needs to be made. And I am still choosing to do the podcast, the free podcast, free for you, not for me. The podcast does cost me quite a bit of money out of pocket. If you have the financial ability to donate to help keep this podcast going, I would be so, so, so grateful. Heading over to patreon.com/female athlete nutrition, you can simply give a donation. You can give $1 a month. You can be part of our membership for $10 a month. And in that membership, I try and reward you with a monthly Q&A and some recipes to say thank you. So you have access to me to help you out and kind of communicate with me if you are a member. So I would be so, so grateful as a New Year's gift to keep this podcast going under the reality that business is no longer running, but the podcast is going to do its best to stay afloat, and donations are greatly wanted and appreciated under these circumstances. So that's my Oreo sandwich news for you. Good news. I'm excited to be the best mother I can possibly be to my children, and am excited to relieve myself of the work or stress of work. Bad news is there will be no more one-on-one clients or fast track program for the foreseeable future. I'm not saying never, but certainly for these next through few months and couple years potentially. But more good news is the podcast will stay alive, and that business has an opportunity to morph and change and grow. I have so much knowledge on female athletes that I want to share with you. It's just going to be shared in a different way. The podcast will continue, and some future resources might be available to you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for considering to donate, patreon.com/female athlete nutrition. And thank you for becoming a member of our email list to stay up to date. The link is in the show notes. Subscribe to the podcast, hit like, leave a review, and that will help keep this podcast going to help you and hundreds and thousands of other female athletes who need support with their fueling. Thank you, and Happy New Year. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And if you did, if you are a true fan of female athlete nutrition, then I would love if you could support our podcast by spreading the word. Share a review on your listening channel, give us 5 stars. It really helps get the word out and get the show more views to positively impact others. Also, you can support the podcast by joining our Patreon. Head to patreon.com/female athlete nutrition to consider a donation, or even better, join our membership where you get extra monthly content and perks. We don't want you to simply listen alone. We want you to be a part of a community and a movement of fierce, fit, and fueled female athletes. So patreon.com/female athlete nutrition is where you can do exactly that, learn more, and join. A huge thanks to our affiliates and partners as well. Once again, Prevenix, Inside Tracker, Orgain, Practice Better, Jen and Carrie. Please go check them out, and their links in the show notes where you can get deals and discounts. Last, be sure that you do more than just listen. If you need help with fueling, it's time to take action. Head to my website to learn more. You can either book a free call with me to learn more about our coaching programs and how we can work directly with you, whether it's the fast track or otherwise. Or you can take our online self-study course, Female Athlete Nutrition. You can literally sign up and gain access right now. You can explore our downloadable products, including the Red S Recovery Guide, High Iron Fueling Guide. Or if you are a coach of a team, check out our brand new Coaches Toolkit for teams
You can also just learn more. We have a blog, a Red-S quiz to see if Red-S is affecting you. If you need help, I want you to get help fast. Too many girls and athletes struggle with nutrition, but you don't have to any longer. You can rise up with the power of nutrition, take action today in any of these avenues, and become fierce, fit, and fueled. Links in the show notes, and we'll see you next time.